Amitabha Buddha mindfulness can keep us safe. It is indeed like this. There are many such examples. Assisting with chanting is very important. If the person who chants the Buddha's name has not yet reached the level of skill, someone can help him to raise his mindfulness when he is dying. Then he may be able to successfully go to the Pure Land. Therefore, assisting with chanting is very important. When assisting with chanting, we should try not to wait until the person is dying to introduce them to the Pure Land and Amitabha Buddha. It is better to introduce them to it at ordinary times. But we also understand that sometimes it is difficult to say it at ordinary times, because many people are very uncomfortable talking about death. And now some people may have a wrong concept, because they see that there may be a funeral procession, and the Buddha's name is played along the way. So, they think that the Buddha's name is chanted for the dead. Then they associate chanting the Buddha's name with death. When we introduce chanting the Buddha's name to our relatives at ordinary times, if they don't believe in Buddhism yet, then we should not say that this is related to rebirth in the Pure Land.
You can introduce chanting Buddha's name to them by saying it has great merits and benefits for the living. This is true. Indeed, chanting Buddha's name has great protective benefits for us. If you want to know more about this, you can read Records of Responses to Chanting Buddha's Name, written by Elder Lay Buddhist Lin Kanji. This book should be searchable on the internet. Chanting Buddha's name can keep us safe. It is indeed like this. There are many such examples, not only recorded in Records of Responses to Chanting Buddha's Name, but we have also heard a lot of them in the past. A few days ago, I heard someone say that a friend he knew had such a situation. The boss he knew was a very optimistic and positive person, because what he shared in the circle of friends was very positive. But unexpectedly, he jumped from the hotel and died when he stayed there. Then his wife couldn't accept it and was very sad. Why does this happen? Sometimes it is not because of the person's thoughts. It is because there are sentient beings in this place who have committed suicide. He wants to catch a substitute. So when he sees that this person may not be in a good mental state, this ghost will come to confuse this person and let this person do what the ghost wants him to do. So it is not that the person who jumped off the building really wanted to commit suicide, but he was confused. If this person knows to chant Amitabha Buddha, he can probably avoid being confused by the sentient beings outside. I have also heard such a story. There is a botanical garden in Taipei. There is a lotus pond in the botanical garden. One summer afternoon, a man was sitting on a chair by the pond to rest. Because the weather was hot, he gradually dozed off and was half asleep. Then he saw a man wearing a bamboo hat and carrying 2 buckets walking to the lotus pond, then across the lotus pond. Then he realized, that's not right. Why is he walking on the water?
He kept walking towards him. Wow, he immediately felt creepy. He immediately woke up and said, this is definitely not a person. How can a person walk on the water like this? It must be a ghost. At that time, he felt as if the sky was covered with dark clouds and it was going to rain. He was scared and chanted Amitabha Buddha. As soon as he chanted this Buddha name, the man disappeared. Moreover, it was actually a sunny day, not really covered with dark clouds. He was puzzled, why did I see this scene? So he went to ask people living nearby, is there anyone dressed like this? Wearing a bamboo hat and carrying a pole on his shoulder with 2 wooden buckets? As a result, people living nearby told him, yes, there is such a person. But last year, he fell into the lotus pond while drawing water and died. So it is really a dead soul, a ghost. Why did he approach this person? Probably to pull this so-called substitute into the water and let him drown, so this ghost can leave this place. So, really, chanting Amitabha Buddha's name can keep you safe. There are many such stories. Another one of them is about a place called Sanyi on the highway heading north in Taichung, Taiwan. There are often car accidents in this place. Once, this male lay Buddhist was driving his mother, wife, and family north. It was actually a sunny day. But when he drove to this place, dark clouds began to come. Then he saw a large truck in front of him, a large bus on his left, and a trailer behind him, and on the other side, there was a mountain. He was sandwiched in. Then gradually, he found out, why are the vehicles next to him and behind him getting closer and closer? The vehicle in front of him was not far away and getting closer and closer too. He was very nervous. It felt very dangerous on the highway. At this time, he suddenly chanted Amitabha Buddha's name, because he felt that it was very dangerous and didn't know what to do. There was no way to escape.
If he was a little nervous, he might have turned the steering wheel and he might have gone through the guardrail and fell to the bottom of the mountain. He was very nervous at this time, so he chanted Amitabha loudly. When he finished chanting the Buddha's name, he found that it was a sunny day without dark clouds. Moreover, there were no cars in front, behind, or beside him. So, the scene just now was an illusion. It was probably that an invisible being wanted to hinder him, making him panic, and then the steering wheel might have slightly deviated, and he might have fallen. So, this situation really exists. Our chanting of the Buddha's name can indeed keep us safe. Lots of stories like this. Therefore, the merits and benefits of Buddha mindfulness are what we can introduce to our family members at ordinary times. We should not talk about it in connection with death, but we can lay this foundation at ordinary times.